All right, welcome back, The Lock Shop. My name is Taylor, and I am the owner and operator of The Lock Shop. And today, I'm going to walk you through how to blacklist a device, what blacklisting is, and the different types of blacklisting. And I'll show you basically how to walk you through it, right? So, I have a customer that does in-house financing. Every now and then he'll have people that skip out on their bill. They don't pay, they skip out, they lose contact. Well, or maybe somebody has stolen your device and you just want to blacklist it, right? You want to do it yourself, and we'll walk you through it. And it can be a phone, it can be a tablet, any device that has an IMEI number can get blacklisted. Now that means when you put a device on the blacklist, that means the device will not get service and or data or carrier services to that device, meaning you cannot connect to the internet. Basically, that's what that means. And it will pop up on a blacklist check site. Now, what I generally use for my blacklisting check is T-Mobile's website. So T-Mobile, and I have it on the list. Let's go ahead and I'll show you where to find this right here. So if you go to the lock.shop, and let's go down here to unlock servers, list of approved unlock servers, because we're going to visit a few of these. I use T-Mobile's device check. Phone identifier via IMEI. If you select this right here, this is how I check IMEIs. Now you can go pull, let's check an IMEI number that one of my guys sent to me, a store owner, right? So let's pull this one right here. So here's this IMEI. Let me grab a pen here. Okay, so what I did, I went ahead and wrote down the IMEI number right here. Before you blacklist it, go ahead and check it. Possibility it's already on the blacklist. So pull up, what we're going to do is we are going to pull up the T-Mobile. We're going to do this, and we're going to input that number here, 583-1622-988. Now, it can be the IMEI 1 or IMEI 2. It does not matter. It does not matter which one, because when you blacklist, because all phones have two IMEIs. If you blacklist IMEI 1, IMEI 2 will automatically be blacklisted as well. If you blacklist IMEI 2, IMEI 1 will be blacklisted. So it doesn't matter, you can have either one, it'll blacklist both of them. So as you can tell here, it is an Apple iPhone 16 Plus. It is not blacklisted. So this, and you can tell this right here where it says this device is not blocked. If that's red, that means it's already blacklisted, right? So what we're going to do is copy that, and there's a couple places you can go blacklisted. And I want to give you an update because all these are listed on the site, right? There's a couple different places you can go to blacklist it. All these are blacklisted, the ones we're going to go to. I have GSM Unlock USA, they do blacklisting. Phone Style Server, they do blacklisting. GSM Unlock USA, right here, that is $9 to blacklist a device, right? Phone Style Server, 13 credits to blacklist any device, right? Let's try Phone Style Server. I've used them for a long time. I know the owner. They're a legit business. And the description for this blacklisting, IMEI from clean to blacklisted. Now, let me go ahead and submit this. Last one was an 8. I'll add it right there. You can add multiple ones. It says delivery time is usually 1 to 48 hours. It's typically less than an hour, right? So I'm going to go ahead and place order. There you go. You can check the order right here, and it will get going. Now, what I'm going to do is let you know that let's say there's a scenario, right? Let's say that you do blacklist a phone. It's your phone. You lost it. You want to blacklist it, right? So nobody can use the phone. Let's say you find it, right, a couple weeks later, and you're like, oh crap, I blacklisted it. Damn. Well, you can unblacklist it. That would be you would just run that same IMEI number and run it in a blacklist removal service. So this will typically, if they don't say who they blacklisted under, because each blacklisting is either blacklisted by T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T, it'll typically be one of those three carriers, because it won't just say blacklisted. It has to be blacklisted by who, right? Because when you unblacklist a device, when you remove a device from the blacklist to the whitelist, you need to know who blacklisted it and why. Well, whenever you blacklist a device, it'll typically it'll be a T-Mobile blacklist, and it will be from customer lost or stolen. Now, there's three types of blacklisting. There's customer reported lost and stolen, insurance reported lost or stolen, or undelivered. Undelivered is a new type of blacklisting that these cell phone carriers have introduced, I would say within the last 2 years. What they're doing, trying to limit the number of cell phones stolen in the delivery process, whether it's your UPS driver or whether it's somebody porch pirate, right? They deliver it and somebody picks it up and takes off with it before you can. That's a little harder to get removed, although there are some services out there. Phone Style Server does have a service for undelivered blacklisting, and the other two are pretty self-explanatory. Customer reported lost or stolen, that would be like, it's blacklisted if with my T-Mobile service, if I call T-Mobile and say, hey, my phone was stolen, it'll be blacklisted as customer lost stolen. If you have insurance on it and you report it to the insurance that it's lost or stolen, that would fall under insurance lost or stolen. So typically, when you blacklist a device, it's T-Mobile customer lost or stolen. So if you do find it, or the customer does come back to your store and zero out their bill, right? They pay up to make them current. You can go back in here and remove it from the blacklist. Now, they're going to have to pay for it, obviously, because that costs you credits. But it's not like once you blacklist the device, it's blocked forever. No. You can reverse it, and I've done that quite a few times. Let me show you an interesting thing here. If you go to GSM Unlock USA, they have a number. Remember how I was saying how when you blacklist it, it's typically a T-Mobile blacklist, customer lost, stolen status. On GSM Unlock USA, if you go over here to their blacklisting services over here on the left, they have a couple of different services. So one is a T-Mobile, right? Blacklisting service, all models, report clean to lost and stolen. But look at the one underneath it. They also have an AT&T blacklisting service, meaning like the phone does not have to be AT&T to blacklist it. You can, even if, let's say you have a Verizon device and you're selling a Verizon device and the customer, again, skips out on the payment and just doesn't pay you. In that scenario, there's not a Verizon blacklist service. Just, I would say, what I would do in that scenario, and this work for iPhone or Android, whether any device with an IMEI number, even if it's a Spectrum, even if it's a Verizon phone, I typically would do a T-Mobile blacklisting, because there's more T-Mobile let's say the customer just by chance, typically they don't, but let's say typically when they stop paying on their stuff, they sell it, right? But let's say the customer does come back, or you do find a phone, there's more T-Mobile unblacklisting services, meaning converting it from lost stolen to clean and clear. There's more T-Mobile services to get it back to clean and clear than there are AT&T. So typically I always just go with T-Mobile. If it doesn't say, then it doesn't say, but it'll typically be T-Mobile. But if you have a choice, I would just roll with T-Mobile. Even if it's AT&T, I would still roll with T-Mobile. Of course, underneath here, they have all their unblacklisting services. Here's one for $24. Here's one for $27, and you can always tack that on to the customer. So if they come back and they zero out their bill, their current, you can say, well, I got to charge you to blacklist it, right? Whatever the credits were, was it 9 or 13 credits? Charge them that to blacklist it, or you can upcharge them, right? Maybe put it up to $20 to blacklist it, so you can get paid for your few minutes of doing it. And then since it's $24 to remove it from the blacklist, charge them $40 to remove it. So it's a total of $60 extra on top of whatever their bill is to zero it out, just for your hassle of having to do all this. You see what I'm saying? So you have a few different options there. And as you can tell, these blacklists to repair, and the term unbarring, the term blacklist repair, IMEI repair, bad ESN repair, it's all the same thing, right? Let's go to phone style server. Now, let's look at if you want to reverse it back to clean. Just simply select unbarring. Now, here they have Verizon, phone style server, T-Mobile, $27. Add that to the customer. But they also have AT&T. You see it's $73. All of these services that are on our list right here, all of these basically have an unbarring service. Basically, all of them have an IMEI repair where you can flip it back to clean and clear. I'm just giving you ones that I typically use the most. Typically, it takes almost about 30 minutes, something like that. It takes a little while to get into the system. Now, this will report to GSMA database. Now, before we get out of here, let me tell you this. It takes a little while for the third-party IMEI checkers to come up reported lost or stolen. I'm on an official T-Mobile website, right? They're tied in directly to these servers. If you use any one of the Google search IMEI checkers, those are not that accurate, and I never use them, honestly. I never do, and I suggest you try to not use them, because they sure can get you in the mixed up with some customers, because they're tied into the servers, but they're on like a delay. Almost sometimes I've seen up to a 6-week delay, meaning you remove a device from the blacklist and you have it proven on your side, on your servers, hey, I removed a device from the blacklist, here you go. And you even run a report and it says it's clean and clear. But then the customer gets on the third-party website, any Google IMEI checker, any third party, meaning it's not tied to a carrier, it's not a carrier website, or it's not a server. That would be a third party, is just some Google search IMEI checker. Sometimes the customer will clean do an unbarring service, IMEI repair on a device, and it's good to go. But the customer looks at a third party IMEI checker, right? And they say, well, it still shows it's blacklisted. It's not blacklisted. And then I have to explain to them that sometimes they only refresh their cache. They only refresh their metadata in the background. Like every website's different, but some are like once a week, once every 2 weeks. Some are once a month. Some are like once every 6 weeks. So they're not going to get that information that it's been clean and cleared and it's good to go until they refresh their server data. So I don't ever use those, and that's why I only stick to the servers and the carrier websites, because the carrier websites are going to be tied in directly to the servers, and the servers are the servers, right? Those servers are tied in to the carriers. So that's all I use. And it can be eSIM, it can be physical SIM, does not matter. You can blacklist anything. And is it worldwide? Yes. So it reports to GSMA database. That's the worldwide IMEI database, GSM database. So it will show up on there as well. And that's the official website for all things IMEI numbers. GSMA database reports to that as well. So you will not be able to use any carrier, any SIM card, any carrier services in that blacklisted device in the USA or outside the USA. So even if you unlock it, if it's blacklisted, it will not work. So if you got any questions, hit me up. Join the members. If you go to more and then you go to groups or forum, become a member of the website, and all my contact information is on here. If you need to reach out, if you got any questions, hit me up. All my contact information is here across all social media accounts, email, all that good stuff. So reach out if you got any questions, if you need maybe something explained a little more. And trust me, it can be confusing. I totally get it. Been doing this for over 10 years, so it just flies right out, and some stuff might go right over your head, and I totally get it. But if you need more explanation, hit me up. All my contact information is there. Join the website, become a member, and we have a lot to go through. Now, I'm uploading this to the website. I'm also uploading this to our YouTube channel, the Lock Shop YouTube channel, and our website. So appreciate the time. Again, if you've got any questions, hit me up. I'm going to compile a video library of a bunch of different services. So stay tuned. I'll help you out with anything you need. Peace out.